What's going on, boys? Today we have our Thursday night preview. Obviously, we have the Jets versus Patriots. If you saw the thumbnail, it's kind of a gross game, but we have some bets we like. We have 3 bets that I'm going to absolutely hammer that I like so far off all my research. I'm going to share that with you guys today. We're going to hop straight into it, not waste any time, try to fire through this as quick as possible so I'm not wasting anybody's time. First bet we're going to take, first leg of this slip is going to be Garrett Wilson higher than 5.5 receptions. I absolutely love this spot for Garrett. When you look at Garrett in the first 2 games, obviously he went under last game, which is why you might be weary of this line. But remember, he was on L'Jarius Sneed the entire game, or L'Jarius Sneed was on him the entire game. And L'Jarius Sneed is one of the best shutdown corners in all of the NFL last year and this year. He's the best man-to-man lockdown, put him on an island corner in the game right now in the NFL. I don't think there truly is anyone better. Plus, the Titans have a really good scheme around him as well to help out over top. Obviously, Garrett had some good plays, made some things happen, had a 26-yard reception and everything, but he still saw 6 targets. In game 1 is what we're really going to look at, because I think that's going to be more the game script. Heavy zone. Is he going to have a good corner, Christian Gonzalez, over him? Sure, but they're still going to play mostly zone, which is why DK Metcalf had 10 receptions last game, why JSN had 16 targets last game. This is why, is because they're going to have Christian Gonzalez shade over top of him in most standpoints, but Christian Gonzalez doesn't just shadow him, man coverage. He's more of a zone corner, more of like a Trevon Diggs type of corner. And I think Garrett Wilson can see this 11 targets, 6 reception type game. I think they're going to want to get him involved early. Aaron Rodgers has kept making it a point that they want to get him the ball, which I think they do so. So I love this line at 5.5. But make sure if you're not on Pickett, you're on Pickett, as right now we're crushing the NFL. This month we're up. This week we're up 2.3 units. We're crushing MLB, NFL right now, so make sure you tail on here. You can see exactly what bets I place, when I place them, and who I place them with. You can tell the exact lines I place them as well, and all my parlays on Underdog you can tail as well. So make sure you're using code BDGE when you sign up. You can follow me, Nick, Jameson, Tony, all the boys here, and follow all of our legs. And also, you'll be able to track your own bets on this as well. So it's an absolutely free dub. It's absolutely free to sign up. Nothing you need to sign up. Just use code BDG. When you sign up, you'll follow all of the boys. It'll be pretty gas, and we'll be making some cash. Moving on to slip number 2. Trying to fire through these fast for y'all. We have to go to the Patriots side of things. Have to go to the Patriots side of the ball. Demario Douglas receiving line is what I want. 22.5 or 20.5 receiving yards is the line I like. But right now we're seeing at 22.5 rushing and receiving yards. So we're sadly going to have to take that for now. But again, don't hate it. I like him at the half. Oh, wait, here it is. 19.5 receiving yards. There we go. But here's what we want to look at when we're talking about Demario Douglas. And I understand he's had like 0 receptions, no yards. I get that in games 1 or 2. But he's running the most routes on the entire team. We can take the percentages off. This is on Fantasy Life, so make sure if you're not on Fantasy Life, you take that, fantasylife.com, one of the best sites for fantasy and regular just research on the NFL as well. But as you can see, he's running 76% of all routes, 23 routes here, 22 routes comparatively to the other receivers in this offense. Jalen Polk's the only one that's really competing with him. Who's close. I think KJ has, it's a little close, but not much. Demario looks like the clear one in this offense. Running the majority of the routes, is all the slot routes damn near. So I really like Demario to be targeted in this game. He's kind of been isolated the past 2 games because they've condensed the middle of the field. The Jets don't do that. They prioritize Sauce on the outside. They get a safety over top of him as well to try to stop the deep balls. I think Demario is going to be an underneath merchant this game. I think he's going to have a role very similar to what he had in the past. If we go back to last season, I think it's going to be a very similar role to that. In last season, he's hit over this line 8 of the last 10 games, and he was an absolute reception merchant, had 9 targets, 8 targets, 7 targets, 5 targets. They would pepper the underneath, pepper the underneath, pepper the underneath. And I think he's their also best receiver by skill at this point too as well. So I think they're going to have to get him involved this game. They're going to want to target the slot, get the little slot moving, just like San Francisco did. San Francisco did the same thing of trying to get the interior of that Jets defense to have to move, to have to cover. And I think that's what's going to happen today. I think Demario is going to have a solid day to where he can easily slide over the 20.5, 19.5 mark. should be easy money for him. And our last bet's going to be Breece Hall over 64.5 rushing yards. Obviously, it's not on UD right now. They're probably just refreshing it. By the time you see this, it will be back at 64, 65. I like it all the way up to 67.5. So you'll find it somewhere in that avenue. We can go look at it right now. On, again, this site that I'm using is props.cash. I get that question all the time. It is props.cash. So if you want to look at it there, I think it'll come out on underdog at 65.5. So you'll get it there. But if you want to use this site, we're not sponsored by props.cash. I'm sponsored individually. So if you want to be on this site, it gives you everything you need, all the tools you need. Use code GUT25. You get 25% off your first month. It's definitely well worth it. But if we're looking back, obviously Breece Hall's not hit this either time, but he's seen the volume. He's had 14 and 16 attempts in his first 2 games. Now he's going against a New England defense that looks elite on the surface. They look to absolutely shut down the defense. You can't see it. It's a little bit cut off here. But rushing yards, they're 4th in the league in rushing yards and 1st in rush per attempt. Now, again, you're probably looking at that gut. Why the fuck would we bet that then if they're so good at run defense? Well, I really don't think they are. I think they've just played Zach Charbonnet, and they've just played Zach Charbonnet and Zach Moss, 2 running backs that are very underwhelming, 2 O-lines that are very underwhelming from a run perspective. Now they go to face Breece Hall, and the Jets' run offense has not looked amazing by any means. But they've also played 2 tough opponents in San Francisco and Tennessee. Tennessee's looking like one of the best defenses in the entire league this year. San Francisco obviously has one of the best defenses in the league every single year, especially from a run perspective. So I think he's faced 2 tough teams, and he still almost hit this in both games. Still see the volume in both games. Now he goes against a New England team that I think is kind of fraudulent in the run department just because of the low competition they've played. Like Zach Moss and Zach Charbonnet are not even close, not even relatively in the same atmosphere as Breece Hall from a running perspective. So I think he can easily smash this line, and people are going to look away from it simply because he just has not hit it yet. It's also discounted on some books and everything, so you can take advantage of that. 64.5, 65.5, taking it all the way to 67.5 tomorrow night versus New England. I think this is an easy line. This might be my favorite play out of all of them. Again, if it's not there for some reason, I also like Breece's longest rush to be over 13.5, aka 14 total yards. But this is the slip we're rocking out with Garrett Wilson, Demario Douglas, Breece Hall. Again, we'll see if Breece Hall one more time refresh. Maybe take his fantasy points. I don't know. I want his rushing yards, though. Obviously, it's not here, but you guys will get the point of me just yapping about it. But you guys will find it. By the time you see this, it should be up easily. It was up earlier. We're able to take it earlier. But again, make sure if you're not signed up on Underdog, on Pick, you use code BDG when you sign up. You'll get a bunch of free shit, which is pretty cool. For Underdog, you got to deposit at least $10. For Pick, it's absolutely free. So dial in. Cash out. Let's have a great Thursday. Wish you all the best of luck in your bets. My write-ups will be posted on Twitter and on Pickett. So if you need a little more reassurance of why, the reasonings why, my write-ups will be there to find them. And any other bets that I decide to add to the slip, which I don't really think I'm going to for Thursday night. Next video you'll see is Friday's video for college football. Then we got Sunday's video, obviously for Sunday football. And we'll be live on Thursday night. So make sure you slide through there, and I'll catch you guys next time. Subscribe, like, all that sort of fun shit down below. I'll catch you next time. Peace.